Well, hello. Welcome to Pepper's Echo. My name is Andre, and it is Sunday again. When it gets to this time of Sunday night, I know that my weekend is done and dusted. I hope you still got at least half a day left on your weekend. And welcome. Got a couple of people. Yeah, Cameron, welcome, Cameron. Buzzy, having rolling blackouts again. Alison, hello, young lady. And Hendo, wow, Hendo, I'm behind you. Erica, wow. Oh, thank you very much for coming on, Erica. Always good to have the fun, fantastic people on. And I have had one of them weeks again, so I have not actually prepared or done anything voluptuously fantastic. I've actually got to the point where I thought, well, maybe I should not do Pepper's Echo so frequently. Let me know if you think it should just be sort of shelved for a while, or at least done once every 2 weeks, or maybe just a monthly echo instead of a weekly echo type of thing. Or if you like my rambling on as it goes along, such. But yes, as I said, it is Sunday, and wow, the weekend has gone by so fast. It's just not funny. The week has gone by so fast, and the week ahead is lying like a mountain ahead of me in the process. So, yeah, I hope everyone can hear me. I didn't actually do any setting checks, etc., and I can see the. Uh, we don't mind ramblers. Yeah, and I can ramble. Hey? Well, yes, as I usually start off, don't forget to catch the good old boys on the streams with all the news and views and reviews. Always to the very best of news, much better than your mainstream media, far more insightful. Most definitely, Chris Wyatt in Durban, Africa. Always, he is such a how should I say, always jovial and always interested in what he's saying. And wow, you know what? He's really, really got it to a T, and also has fantastic and phenomenal insight into what he is doing and what he reports on. Stuck in Pennsylvania. Well, I don't want to say stuck in Pennsylvania, but yeah, in Pennsylvania in America, and he has more knowledge about South Africa and South Africa goings on than what most uh, media and knowledgeable people in South Africa know. I'm just the ordinary man in the street from the outside looking in. I ask questions which might sound dumb at times, but yeah. Ah, Pastor Coral, how are you today? It is so good to see you as well. Um, yeah, I'm wanting you to take your church back. For 2 weeks now, we've had another pastor. Although the pastor today, I do have a little bit of something to add from today's service, which is pretty cool. But wonderful to have you back here. Yeah, there we go. And then there's Chris Wyatt. And the next one would be Ronaldo Gous. Ronaldo, always, what a pleasure to have such a great chappie. Always giving us news, really always interesting, a lot of fun to have around. And yeah, he was actually last night. I sort of just caught it a bit. I didn't interact because I was like pretty tired and I was just sitting here. And I thought, well, I'll watch this out, which I thought was such a great gist from Ronaldo. Is he was raising money for Bongi. And Bongi was a petrol attendant where he usually uses at the service station. And he's been there for 22 years, always smiling, always happy. And he just wanted to do something for him. And I think they got close on 3,000 Rand, if not a smidge over by the time he finished his stream. I don't know if he's going to be doing that again. Or continuing with it, or if he's called it a day with it. But yeah, do take a look. And if you don't see, do take a look when he will be handing it over to Bongi as well, which I think is such a nice selfless gesture from him as well. There we go, Ronaldo. And then, yeah, Roman Kabanak, Morning Shot is sort of pretty much going Lone Ranger somewhere along the line, but he is still up and got some really interesting streams. And the lovely lady herself, Miss Ruthlessly Rebellious Ruth. Yes, don't forget to catch. She has some lovely, interesting streams as well. I do urge you to hop on there as well. Then also to keep up with all your views and news and also interesting subjects and what's happening, don't forget to sign up for Buzzy's Moments Telegram group and her YouTube channel as well. Buzzy, we need to actually do something on your YouTube channel. I don't know if you are still around, but if your blackout's hit or not yet. But onto her YouTube channel, and don't forget to sign up for her Telegram channel. Pastor Carl, always good to have you around as well. Looking forward to breakfast. As we said, coming to South Africa, I will happily braai for breakfast. Boerewors. Something with a boerewors breakfast. What's Erica? Chris is highly intelligent and informed. Yes, I do. I don't know how he keeps it up. He keeps up a phenomenal pace, but he is really, really an intelligent and well informed. And I get my news from South Africa from Chris. It's just a lot of insight that he puts into it as well, which makes sense. I mean, we're all human beings. We're all adults. Think for yourself. But when he puts it down, it just makes sense. DVD. Good to see you from the weekend. I have not seen you all weekend. Good to see you, my friend. And Cameron, okay, wow. In the end, Cameron's got it. 5,500 that Ronaldo put together for Bongi. That is wonderful. I really hope that I can catch his show where he actually hands it over. Erica, although his pizza taste is way off. I'm assuming you're talking about Chris, and I'm assuming he likes... pineapple on his pizza, which is way down. And there's the Buzzy's Moment Telegram group as well, also there. Thank you very much, Cam. And our very own Gordon Ramsay in the house. Mr. R-Bot, drop the mic. How's it going? Well, super. You heard of full English Welsh breakfast, but not a boerie breakfast. I want a full boer breakfast. A full boer breakfast when I go. That's all I'm going to eat when I go to South Africa is biltong, melktert, koeksisters, and boerewors. What's that? It's at 5,550. That's fantastic. Really, really good. Well done. I think that is such a fantastic, selfless act that was done by Ronaldo. And that's why he's such a good chap. You know what? He comes up with absolutely fantastic, wonderful things. Taking a look what's happened through the week. I am drained. I am absolutely drained. I have had a couple of things where I need to start off the right way around. I'll actually get onto that bit as well. But let's take a look first at what happened. In Kimberley, my old hometown, I sat down to watch the Currie Cup final last night between the Griquas and the Pumas. Not that these chaps have ever hit the final. My honest opinion is the reason they hit the final is because the big guns were out with the URC, the Union or United Rugby Championships or Union. But so we had a big clash of the final of the Pumas from Mpumalanga against the Northern Cape Griquas. And very quietly in my heart, I was cheering on the Griquas as I used to live about 2 or 3 blocks away from the stadium. And I thought, well, that's hometown. It's where I grew up. You know what? Let the guys win. But I tell you what, those Pumas brought a game of note, and they deserved to win. So Coach Jimmy and the Pumas and the guys from Nelspruit area or Mpumalanga area, well done. Congratulations. It was a good game. I enjoyed the match as I watched it. I found I can't really put it up because I would probably get slaughtered by YouTube, but I found a channel that actually plays my rugby matches and that on. And I think there's MotoGP on tonight as well, if I'm not mistaken. And apparently it does that too. So I'm able to see matches and I'm able to watch MotoGP. So, yeah. What Sendo say was knackered yesterday, better today. I'm pleased you're better today, Hendo. You're a real stalwart. Greek was kind of choked. I think stress and nerves first ever Puma win. Yes, first ever Puma win. And they did bring it. So well done to the Pumas. They really did a good job. They smacked in there. And it was a nice match to watch as well. It wasn't a a boring match to watch either. So I really enjoyed it. It was 3 o'clock in South Africa. I think they kicked off here at 7 in the evening. So yeah, it was also good timing as well. Didn't have to sit when was the URC final was between the Stormers and the Bulls was like I think 12 or 12:30 the evening. Yeah. So yes, well done there. That was an excellent show there. And I think if you tune into Chris's channel, I think Chris will actually give you some commentary on that as well. He does some great commentary on the live commentary on the rugby matches as well, which is absolutely phenomenal. He's a hard rugby fan. He said, at least Chris White got 1K subscribers on Rugby Ascendant channel. Now you can live stream off his phone from the rugby field. Oh, wow. There we go. That's fantastic. Yeah, for an American ex-Army colonel or retired Army colonel, he is phenomenal in his knowledge worldwide, but specifically on South Africa. And then, of course, he's uniquely interested in rugby and has a phenomenal knowledge and collection of rugby as we go along there. But South Africa also, and why I'm looking down is because I haven't had really very much to say. I sort of wrote down a few things that I have done or looked at and watched this week. But yeah, South Africa had another victory this month, and I don't know how you guys all feel about it, but I think, woohoo, well done, good stuff to you. You have won the victory over masks and vaccinations and all being grouped together in a, or should I say, half attendance in groups together and things to that effect. So yeah, wow. What's that like? Not having to walk out and walk into shops with masks. Are shops still asking for them? Are there people who are saying, well, you know what, it might be the country's law, but in our store we have a mask law? How do you feel about it? Do you feel safer? Do you feel it's about time? Do you feel that maybe when everyone's together in a small pep stores that you know what, the person splutting and sneezing and farting and burping behind you should actually have a mask on? Or is that pretty much okay? And you can now catch the common cold then much easier and much better and get over it and have your immune system build back up again. Yeah, because I was actually looking at or chatting to one of the ladies, a teacher, one of my teachers, and she said, oh, you know what, her little one is getting so sick. She's like vomiting and she has a temperature and everything. And it's because she's started going to daycare, preschool. And they said, well, you know what, it happens. It happens when they're at preschool because, you know, they get exposed to so many more germs and viruses and that, and their immune system eventually builds up. So has our immune system dropped to such an extent that we need to build it back up again? Let's take a look. What's Cameron say? Let's take a look. I'm one of those. I always had detention because I even hated wearing a tie and have my top button undone. Oh, you rebel, you, Cameron. Erica, I haven't tried the banks yet. Yeah, I don't know what it's like. I don't mind. I actually walked into an ATM the other day because we don't have to wear masks outside of buildings, but inside buildings and that. So in school, we still masked up, and outside buildings and that, we don't have to wear masks and that. So I merely hopped off a tuk-tuk yesterday and went tramping quite happily off into the ATM. And by the time I got back, I realized, oh, my mask, I forgot my mask. But I think it's also slowly pulling out. Yeah, what's Hendo say? Lifted all COOF restrictions, belated 2 months in SA. I stopped wearing one 3 months ago. Yeah, I actually haven't bought a new box of masks yet. I don't know what the guys are going to do. Cameron says, yeah, so with all of that, being a rebel, he hated masks. Sorry, my camera's, I'm busy shaking my legs as I'm chatting over here. But so, yeah, so I'm assuming you're all pretty ecstatic about not wearing masks anymore and vaccinations being a thing of the past. I'm looking forward to being able to get through the airports because I know from the 1st of July, Thailand was needing COVID insurance and pre-registered landing and everything to that effect. And from the 1st of July, we don't need that anymore. So I can actually go through Thailand without having to get insurance. We would have had to buy COVID insurance, and then obviously landing in South Africa is free for all. So, yeah, hopefully that's over. And I was actually looking on Twitter because I try and just troll Twitter for a slither of information here or there, although I find Twitter is terribly, terribly toxic, which actually ties into my talk on gossip today as well. Is that the Ukraine flag was a big thing, and we had Ukraine here and Ukraine there and Ukraine. And all of a sudden, the Ukraine flag is starting to disappear from people's Facebook logos, Twitter logos. You know what? There's no more "I stand with Ukraine" and etc. etc. Has that become an acceptance that Ukraine is losing to Russia, or is it just not the flavor of the month anymore? Has monkeypox maybe overshadowed that? Or just like, guys, we're dropping the masks, drop everything else before they make us wear Ukraine flags on our face type of thing, or etc. etc. Sorry, my throat is also going for it over there. So yeah, no more masks. Well, in Cambodia at the moment, they're still going for their 5th COVID shot at the moment. I've had 3. I'm contemplating whether I should go for my 4th shot before going to South Africa, or worry about it when I get back again. And I'm not too sure what this one is. I prefer Getter, http://getter.com, user Hendo. What is that? What is that? If you can tell us a little bit more what Getter is. It sounds like a wish of a lonely man. I wish I could get her. But yeah, we'll have some ladies when we go into the streets again over here shout out your name. It's just that I'm going nowhere at the moment. I'm trying to save every penny and every cent for my buri breakfast. Maybe I should have a SnapScan thing and everything, and raise fund for Andre's buri breakfasts in South Africa on his South African trip. No, I'm kidding. I'll never be that facetious, but yeah, it does sound good. It has a good ring to it. Andre's buri breakfast, back a buddy buri. So yeah, Ukraine's taken a conservative Twitter platform. Yeah, no, Twitter is not conservative whatsoever. It's very toxic. And the worst thing about Twitter is even decent people become indecent on Twitter because they hide behind fictitious names. They you know what, people suddenly do what they want to do, which you should be able to do, but you should be able to say it with the responsibility of accepting the consequence for what you're saying. And I think that's what a lot of people don't do. And then a lot of people have an entitlement. Alison says, it is wonderful. It was wonderful to see my class. This is beautiful. Did you recognize them, Alison? I just don't know if I'm going to recognize the kids when they pull masks off one of these days. And it's like, and you would be? Do you belong in this class? What's it, Andre? Buri breakfast. Why you call me Andrea? Just like. You sound like you come from the Cape. No, I'm kidding. And Andrea, Boere breakfast sounds like an Afrikaner coffee shop. I don't care what coffee shop it is. If it does a Boere breakfast brew, I want a Boere breakfast when I go through to South Africa. I don't want none of this lock, flippin' fried fruit cock and everything to that effect. I want vors. I want chops. I want decent farm eggs. I want toast that isn't sweet, salted butter. I want cholesterol that give me a heart attack before lunch. Yeah. Bacon, but I mean thick farm pig South African bacon. I don't eat pork, but I eat bacon. So that's what I'm looking for. But yeah, all great stuff. Wonderful to have them masks down. And as I said, are the Ukrainian supporters, has Ukraine taken a back seat? Has everything gone out there? Same as, I don't know what's happened, and I haven't been following up properly. As I said, I've been totally off the wagon with all the exams that hit Cambridge exams, term 4 exams. And now we've got school contests coming ahead. And, oh, man, I'm hoping that after this week, it's going to be calmer. But I was called downstairs again the other day and said, well, you know what? When this contest is over, we've got to start piling on the parent meetings now, because those who aren't making it and need to have the parents understand. And we've got to chat and suggest and tell them about holding back and not making it and things like that. And this year has been pretty challenging because, you know what, even good kids that have performed at school and then suddenly put an environment from learning from home and having to sit in front of a computer and learn from home have not really performed. And you know what, having to catch it up by the end of the year is just really not been able or possible for many of those, which I can relate to. As I said, when I had my own training business, I just, you know what, I set up an office at home, everything. It was brilliant. It would be what anybody would have wished for, an office at home. And yet I could not work with an office at home. I needed to go and find an office somewhere just so that I could get up and actually go to work. What's Endo got? No, not cholesterol included breakfast. You're going to get charged extra when flying back to Cambodia. Yeah. I have friends that have asked to bring stuff out because, I mean, whenever they hear, oh, you're going to South Africa, well, we would like Van Riebeek coffee and Simba chips, the salt and vinegar flavor, and what's the other one? Knickknacks and Mrs. Bull's chutney. That's all you can bring me when you go to South Africa. And it's like, you know what? Would you like a bar one? No, no. Would you like? No, no. What? Mrs. Bull's chutney, please. That's all I want. It just helps everything taste a little bit more like home when I go home. So, yeah, what would you want sent back to you if you were living abroad? What would you miss? And you know what? South Africans take all the good stuff for granted, you bunch of bastards. When you're in South Africa, you take everything that you pull off there, even if it's expensive, you take it for granted because it's still there. And then all of a sudden, when it's no more, and Bovril's $11 for a little jar of Bovril, you suddenly long home because you can't afford Bovril. No matter how sick you get, you might go and buy flu capsules because there's no ways you're going to suck on a lovely hot cup of Bovril. Yeah, Mrs. Balls was a must. I still have some Mrs. Balls left from the last order I put in with people. Whoa, Arbot, now we're talking laka, chakalaka. And what's that other stuff? Chakalaka and... oh, man. The Indians make it with mango and stuff in it. If you can think of it, but it's also like a pickled thing with mangoes and everything in it. My wife and I shouldn't buy a bottle. We just polish it like that. And we tried to make some here ourselves, but the recipe that the wife got was just not cool at all. But yeah, acha, that's it, Cameron. Acha, there we go, Cameron. Acha, and and Arbot. I love that stuff. It didn't even work in South Africa. Bought a bottle of acha, take it home, and go, right, we will use 1 tablespoon a night. This bottle will last a week. Next morning, it's finished. It's finished. We had 2 or 3 slices of toast, and the rest we spooned out. Cameron, don't worry, I got it. Acha. Erica says you make it herself. Erica, it would be most grateful if you sent us a decent recipe because the one we had, I think, had something sweet in, and everything in Cambodia is sweet. Even the bread, although there's a bakery called Aussie Bakery, if they get their bread from Aussie Bakery, it's still a pretty sort of like decent bread. But everything else, it tastes sweeter. Even your normal loaves of bread are like, really, it's pretty sweet. So, yeah, veggie acha. There we go. You can buy the acha spice in SA and make your own oil. You have, let me actually put that up. I'm busy reading from the side there. You can buy your acha spice in SA and make your own oil. You have mangoes. Oh, we have tons of mangoes. Yeah, out in our front street. The cars ride over them because they just drop off the trees, stacks. What's that? You're delusional if you think the hot show will last. Yeah, no ways. Doesn't last, bro. Doesn't last. I'm telling you there. Lip lacquer. Lip lacquer. Not finger licking good. Lip lacquer. That's a good thing. I'll actually take a look at Spa, but thank you very much. And see, because yeah, we got all the mangoes in the world to make it. Breading, very easy to make as well. Yeah, Erica makes a mean biryani. Ooh, very nice. Love biryani. There's a couple of places, flavors of India over here. There's what's it? The curry basket or something. But there's one place called Coriander, and I really enjoy their Indian stuff over here. What's it? Balu. Is it the little deep fried potato pieces? Enjoy that. Then my wife enjoys the deep fried mascas, cottage cheese, and then they make an awesome butter chicken, and then they make a chicken roll as well. We usually, whatever we do, we order the chicken roll and then pack it in for school the next day. And then, of course, yeah, you get whole biryani. I found a place as well just up the road, and it's actually in our Boré, which is the what's the name? You make your own bread as well. Ooh, nothing better than homemade bread. I actually went to a place. I'll actually show you the video I made for the hotel. Let me actually see if I can find that. I made a video for a hotel. Remember I said to you that weekend that we were in Siem Reap, and no, movies. Aha, export. Let's see if I can show you. Yeah, let me show you where we went. I don't know if I've showed you already. You know what? My head's not as good as it. Paneer cheese. Oh, yes. No, but Indian isn't difficult to get in Cambodia. Indian like butter chicken, malu, that type of stuff. It's just like, and there's samosas are different, and of course the Brits like look you up and down and go samosa, and I'm like samosa, and like samosa, and they all laugh at us because we're going like samosa, no samosa, you dumb South African idiot, and all right. Oh, paneer cheese, yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with Hendo. Stop, please. No severe hunger. Yeah, this is the hungry show. We should actually have food on it. But yeah, what I want to show you, I don't know if I've shared this. Let me just get the volume down to 75. I know Cam said it's 75. It's usually not too bad. This is the video I made of the hotel that we went to that friends of ours have opened. So let's take a look at that. Got it there. You don't want me in there. Place called Carmel Boutique Hotel. Very nice, beautiful little place. Not too expensive. I think you're looking about $40 a night, 35. Was it maybe even less? I think it's less than 40. Oh, roti and naan biryani. Love the naan bread. There we go. Very nice new little ladies. And I was trying to take the towel with holding my juice and the camera at the same time. Yeah. Yeah, that was, I actually shared it for them. Yeah, they shared it. And they're starting to do really well around the pool area now. You'll see that there's just tiles, but they've actually put synthetic grass around the pool area to prevent any slipping around the pool area. It looks really nice. So yeah, there where those brown bricks and that are there is actually like synthetic grass. But very nice, pleasant place. I'd love to be able to live in Siem Reap. They have South African days on the weekends, some weekends. And yeah, then they do like either potjie or a braai or anything like that. And the only problem is, look, Siem Reap is very clean, beautiful to stay in, very cheap. But the what's the name? Jobs are pretty low. It's like little South Africa. No, there's probably got more employment in South Africa. But yeah, and then the salaries aren't as high as in Phnom Penh, but obviously with the cost of living being cheap. See, like some rooms have got the shower and everything like that, but then you must actually take a look at another room that's got like what they call wet rooms. And you'll see, I just did it quick to let someone actually sort of just see what the small room with the wet room is. It's just like your toilet and your shower is like across from your toilet. Yeah, if you take a look, there it's in here that you'll see the wet room, and it's like a little cupboard that you sort of shower in type of thing. But that's what my bathrooms look like. There's your basin, everything. There's your toilet, and just above your toilet is a shower. Bam, that's it. It's basically a wet room. But otherwise, yeah. So I put this together for them. Obviously, I'm going to have to make a smaller, shorter cut for it because it's a little long for a. Yeah, there we go, Alison. So you know all about what a wet room is. Yeah, you turn the shower on and everything's wet. Oh, you see, Buri breakfast. There we go, homemade bread as well. Oh, you know, who's it? Erica, you and Arbot have absolutely got me upside down with being hungry. But yeah, there we had wors and ribs and onion rings and things that evening. There I am. I was part of the PR regalia. I don't know, Hendo, when you're speaking to Arbot, when you say how far is it from your place, are you asking me how far this is from my place? Yeah, so if you ever come up here, Siem Reap's the place to be. This is a very affordable, lovely place, great people. And yeah, Carmel Boutique Hotel in Siem Reap. If anyone's wanting to watch there, let's take that out there. And stop sharing the screen. Now you get to look at my ugly mug. Hendo, both. Okay, you're asking Arbot how far he is from the hotel and how far I am from the hotel. I think Arbot's further than me. No, I think it's about a 300k drive, if not closer, to Siem Reap. But because of the roads and that, the distance is not really what makes it, because you can still do 120 and fly over a few potholes in South Africa. Over here with the traffic and the sort of like everything's always built up. It's like you never leave the highway, so you never get so. We would drive like 80 and then down to 60 and then 80 and then down to 60. So it took us like good 5-6 hours to get there type of thing. And yes, I should actually wallow into toilets and that over here and try and find a wet room. We have sort of a wet room, but our shower, it has got like a shower curtain around it and things like that. Although we have no window in this bathroom, which is my wife's pet hate. And the drains every now and then develop a little odor of their own unique ability. So yeah, I need to show you this place sometime, although I don't know if we are going to be here. Yeah, 5 or 6 hours. Yeah, that's on a 300k trip. Pretty hectic. But Siem Reap is definitely the place to be if you come to Cambodia. If we ever organize a eco tour, Pepper's Echo Tour, and we get everyone here, we'll definitely be spending a lot of time in Siem Reap because that's where Angkor Wat is. That's where your floating village is. Yeah, you see, Divan, DVD, he says it's lucky you can sit and shower. I don't know, Alison, did you ever sit in the toilet and shower at the same time? Like 2 jobs in one. No, anyway. Well, and then there's the bum gun, so you can spray back at the shower. But yeah, we should. I did take a picture of your old one, I think, DVD, and then your new place that you moved into as well. But yeah, in Asia, that seems to be, you know what, A wet room is a good room. Our first apartment that we moved into is just like a wet room. I know. So you walk in, everything's wet after you shower, and you walk out, and it's fine. Whoa! Drop the link in the chat room. Link. I would have to. I'd probably drop it in next week because I'm not too sure. I must get the link for it. There is, I think, on Cloudbed. There is they have a website up there, and they've started taking some good bookings and that as well. And as I say, lovely place, not expensive, good food, nice people, and yeah, it's pretty much well organized, nice and clean too. They've really done a good job there. What's it? Wet room? Like DVD. I have such shit and shower. Yeah, it's not shit shower and shave anymore. It's just like shit shower shave. But anyways, yes. So there's the little bit of Cambodia these days. I'm doing too little in Cambodia. I will bring you a little bit more about Cambodia as we go on. But movies, I've been into a little bit of the old. Because a friend was reading the book Taipan, and then he asked if I could get him the a series, or not series, actually a mini series, just three pieces of Noble House from the 80s. And these are still the good old shows that actually have stories and that, although the sound sounds like it's coming from the bottom of a toilet because it was still like single sound or whatever off the TVs type of thing. It had Pierce Brosnan in, called Noble House. However, he convinced me that it's really important that we watch Taipan first. So then I watched the older one, which is Taipan. I don't know if you remember an actor by the name of Brian Brown. He still acted in Taipan, but you could see that they had tried to shove a book into a movie. And obviously, I think the book had a lot more content in it. But so I ended up watching Taipan, and I suddenly felt like movies with a decent content, not this like woke messaging thing that movies these days have. So I tried to look up best movies of all time, and quite a few things came. Oh, wow. There we go. Hendo. Hannes and Venita will be most grateful to you. There we go. Carmel, Facebook link, hotel. Daar word nie op jou gewag nie, né, mannetjie? No, I'm kidding. Thank you very, very much. Gio, if the Griquas had you in the back line, you could have passed a lot faster for them. Okay, no kidding. But yeah, so I looked up, and I went to look up greatest movies or good movies of all time and that. And I found some really good ones. And I don't know, there's one dead shot one that I really struggled through. But one that was really interesting. Who of you enjoyed The Magnificent Seven? Now, between The Magnificent Seven, there was a movie, and then there was a remake on the movie The Magnificent Seven. I very, very much preferred the original one with Yul Brynner in. That's just me. It's just like, wow, you know what? The Magnificent Seven, that was it. Not that the remake wasn't good. It was pretty good, and I can't say it was bad. But yeah, but apparently that came from another movie originally, and I think it was 54, 51 or 54, which I promptly got my grubby little paws on and watched, called Seven Samurai. Okay, if you know the story of the Magnificent Seven, you basically know Seven Samurai, but it was the same thing. And I had to read it. 3.5 hour movie, or 3 hours, 20 minutes, or something like that. But yeah, I quite enjoyed watching this 1951 or 1954 Seven Samurai, which is really, really cool. Let's get back to Alison's got something on the toilet. No, never toilet and shower. Went to a pub in Hat Yai. The toilet was in the ground. Yeah, squat toilets. And tiled, so you squat, but there is a sprayer to clean the toilet afterwards. The sprayer is not to clean the toilet. It's you got to point it upwards and hold on to your tonsils, because some of them have quite an attitude squatting. But to clean the toilets afterwards, problem squatting after drinks. Yes, I can imagine. Jeez, no, I'm not that old, Erica. I just, really enjoyed the old Seven Samurai was really good. I was reading three hours of Seven Samurai, and it was actually quite good. Not a Western fan, but was good. Yeah, Magnificent Seven, the original one. What is it? In SA, it will be dubbed as Disgieva Sieva. Yeah. Talking about that, we were looking at Taipan and we went, that movie would never be allowed to be made these days. Not that there was anything wrong, but the way they depicted the Chinese and everything and that type of stuff would be like, whoa, you know what, that is offensive. You cannot do that. But I enjoy Arbot, yeah, Disgieva Sieva. Probably would be these days. What's it? Squats and all DVD squats also. Oh yeah, have used them too. Yeah, no. You know what, Alison? It's not the getting down that bothers me. It's the getting up that bothers me after that. A YouTube trailer of the Seven Samurai, black and white flick. I can take a look. See. Let's see if I can get into YouTube. Remember, the film is about 3 hours long, so the trailer is the trailer is about a half an hour long. No, I'm kidding. Here it is. Yeah, it's you'll laugh at it, but I enjoyed the okay. I enjoyed the movie. All right, let me just get the sound out there.
ある山間の小さな村に侍の墓が4つ並んだ。野心と巧妙に疲れた狂気の時代に全く明理を顧みず哀れな百姓たちのために戦った7人の侍の話。彼らは無名のまま風のように去った。しかし彼らの優しい心と勇ましい行為は今なお美しく語り伝えられている。彼らこそ侍だ。黒澤明が描く壮烈な叙事詩。彼らはこの旗のもとに戦った。どういうわけだこれ。これは田んぼの彼女、つまり百姓たち、この村だな。この丸は俺たちだ。
And I don't know if they were actually bald or if they actually put bald caps on, because that bald didn't look too bald for me. But yeah, maybe it was.
いや、この三角がこれ。7人の侍の中の変わり種、の育ちの暴れん坊。襲い来るはのぶし、戦国の生んだ大老の群れ。
Let's go from while we're watching some good samurai action. It was just nostalgic, and it's not that I was born in this era, but it was really good. What's DVD? Not getting down and staying down is hard. I shouldn't touch ground, so you must hover in place. Yeah, you know what? The knee's not working so well. Well, and not forget the love story there as well. Nothing like squatting, getting up, having a head rush, and collapsing into the toilet. Cameron. I wonder if YouTube would give me a soundtrack. What's a copyright strike on this?
この一撃で一番
You know, the one thing to always think of is there wasn't CGI in those days. The any stunt or any fall or any jump or any whatever was like, that's it. It was real. Yeah, so there we go. Let me just take that off before people see that I watch Seven Samurai. Yeah, so that's my dirty little secret from this week is I get to watch Seven Samurai or read through Seven Samurai. But what we're looking at head rushes off toilets, and Cameron gets head rushes way too often. You shouldn't squat down that. Don't do movies in black and white, and even less with subtitles. Yeah, I'm not too fond of them either, but it just I was dying of curiosity. Yeah, shoo, old movies. Only Charlie Chaplin was older. I'm a full-on LBGQT now. Let's get beer, tequila, and go Arbot. Let's get Biden to quit. Love it, guys. Love it. Well done. Los die flying dildos off. Okay, well, whatever. Let's take a look. Anyway, the other one that I actually watched, which also came out in the greatest movies of all time, had I think Humphrey Bogart on it. No, it wasn't Casablanca. I still got to see that. I haven't seen Casablanca and I haven't seen Gone with the Wind yet. Was the Maltese Falcon. I'm not going to play you a trailer of that as well. But yeah, that was, I think, even earlier, but that was in English as well. The disappointing one was a newer one. I think it was the 90s, if I'm not mistaken. Jim Carrey and the Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Yeah, well, it was one of those that I felt like putting a knitting needle through my eye to try and get through that movie. It was really just. No, I haven't seen Casablanca yet. Enda, you look shocked. One of the good ones that I did watch was The Departed. Had Matt Damon, Leonardo DiCaprio, Charlie Sheen, not Charlie Sheen, Martin Sheen, the guy who acts in the Jason Bourne movies, him as well. That was pretty good. And then I was just a little bit bored on Saturday, and I thought, oh, well, I'll put something on Netflix, seeing as I pay for it. I might as well watch Netflix for a change. And it was okay. SAS, Rise of the Black Swan, had... what's her name? She was Batgirl in the first season of Batwoman or Batgirl or whatever, and then she gave it away to another woke character. Yeah, Matt Damon was in. Matt Damon, but the other guy, Mark Wahlberg as well. So yeah, The Departed was pretty good. The ending could have been better, but yeah, I suppose for what it was, it ended pretty well. But yeah, SAS, Rise of the Black Swan, just a mindless action movie on Netflix, is pretty good. And the wifey got us to finish watching Encanto today, which I don't know. I don't know why I don't laugh at comedies or have really no time for cartoons. But yeah. For the last 10 minutes, yes, we talk about gossip, something that was, and you talk about last week of Norma Rasabliff. Yeah, I'll hold you over the coals for Norma Rasabliff, and I pulled out Seven Samurai this week. Yeah, so I don't know. Have any of you, what's it, artsy? I agree with you. Not seen Casablanca. Artsy fartsy movies suck. Yeah, I have no time really. You know what's the nicest movies? It's the ones with Stallone and all the action heroes in them. Is he's made 3 of them now. Now I've clean forgotten them. The something, it's got Stallone, it's got Jean-Claude Van Damme, it had Dolph Lundgren, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Expendables. Thank you, Arbot. The Expendables. I just love those movies. I absolutely love them movies. Thanks, Cameron. The Expendables. Yes, I really just enjoy them because it's just like, you know what, this is the story. We're going to kick ass, have a lot of action, blood will be, and you will have your favorite action movies. And I remember I had old Chuck Norris doing his own joke in there when they said, I thought you were dead. You were bitten by a rattlesnake. He says, yeah, it was extreme pain for about 4 days, and then the snake died. But yeah, Chuck Norris jokes. What's it? Erica, the champ. Yeah. Oh, geez. Tissues. Tissues. Ricky Schrader, if I'm not mistaken, was the little chap in the champ. Good grief. Dustin, was it Dustin Hoffman as well? I remember going to watch the champ when I was little. But yeah, you like me, old school alpha male flicks, the good old day. You couldn't have put it better. You couldn't have put it better. That was it. That was it. Bud Spencer and Terence Hill, dude. Bud Spencer and Terence Hill. But yeah, it doesn't beat my Sunday afternoon with you guys when we actually sit and talk snot. First food. Chuck Norris beat the monkey out of the monkeypox. Yeah, he actually died last month, but his mother says this morning he's feeling much better. They call me Trinity. I actually introduced DVD to that the other day. We showed him a Terence Hill Trinity movie. And I showed him who Uncle Terence Hill is. I miss those 90s, 80s movies. Yeah, it was just like mindless action. You didn't have to concentrate. There was no hectic plot. It was like, I will bash you, I will find you, and I will kill you. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, that was some good stuff. I also showed them a month or two ago, Patrick Swayze, Roadhouse. Yeah, old Bud Spencer and Terence Hill. Old Bud Spencer has really passed. He's passed away already. Very sad, but yeah. DVD Terence, yeah, and DVD has liked the movies, although he's yeah, no, they were always good. You can actually get on YouTube. Was it last year? Sometime I was dead bored and I took a look, and I'm for the hippopotamus. And I remember I had the movie poster in my room because in a small little mining town in South Africa called Lime Acres. Look it up, between Kimberley and Postmasburg if you actually bother. But my father was the rec club manager, and the movies used to show there, and I used to get the posters. Yeah, Roadhouse. Yeah, Roadhouse. Dirty Harry, shoot first. Do you feel lucky, punk? Well, do you? Yeah. Lucky Luke. Yeah, no, down memory lane is some really, really good movies that you could pull out. Yeah, Dirty Harry Arbot. No one could play Dirty Harry like Clint Eastwood. What? I had a boyfriend who just souped. What? Just souped. Roadhouse? Yeah, he enjoyed Roadhouse as well. Good action movie. Yeah, but I hope you were enjoying it for the action and not the pool scene DVD. But anyway, we'll not go down that road either. But yeah. Yeah, so coming to the end of things, and just to sort of end exactly what's Hendo say, exactly, Mr. Arbot, Murhala Laka. There we go. There we go. Of course, of course. Something that go into a serious part of life after walking down memory lane that I was taking a look at, and we'll maybe chat about this sometime on having a whole like stream on its own. Let me know if you do or if you don't. You know what actually gives my brain the biggest ache? Oh, Demolition Man. Stallone is my man. Wesley Snipes, definitely. Stallone still rocks. Miami Super Cops. Terence Hill. Gotta get them up there. What's that? I had a boyfriend who looked just like BF became quite full of himself and I got fed up and broke up. It's the same with women, Erica. You can't have the looks and the personality. There we go, Terence Hill. You can't have the looks and the personality. You get a hot chick, you've got to put up with her hot chick business. You look like Terence Hill, your boyfriend. And Terence Hill was a looker, hey? Those blue eyes. I know the ladies used to swoon for those blue eyes. Yeah, sadly, Patrick Swayze, all the good guys are clocking out these days, slowly but surely. Very, very sad. I've officially given up on women this week. Cameron, at least there's a new week ahead still. But as I said, if you go for, you know what? It's not the look, it's the type of lady that she is. That's important to me. It doesn't matter what you look like. It's how you act that makes you a lady. It's so, you can get this real like rough scruff collar, tough, and then you get a lady. And just the softness of a lady is the most amazing thing to me always. It really is. Hot chick, high maintenance, mental. This is what I'm trying to say. You look at it, it's good window shopping, but you'll never buy that piece of material because you know you've got to freaking sit with the consequences. Here's another one, Allison. Hot chick, high maintenance. There we go. There we go. Cam, somewhere, somehow, when you least expect it, someone's going to jump out and say, smile, you're on candid. No, I'm kidding. No, that's not what I meant to say. Some way, somehow, when you're not looking for it. I had an absolute piece of crazy before I met my wife. And it had me in absolutely stitches. I was off to go and see head shrinks and everything to that effect, etc., because of this and that. And when eventually imploded, I decided that's it. I'm now going to be me. I'm not going to be a mean, nasty asshole, but I'm just going to be me. You know what? I'm not going to stop smoking if you don't like smoking, and I'm not going to stop this habit or that habit. I'm going to be me. And eventually, I actually seemed to find somebody who liked me for me. I don't know if she still likes me for me, but yeah. You know what? Ladies sort of accept you for a little while, and then once they've got you, then they want you to be. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. And my wife's watching this, so I better not. But no, all I'm saying is once I stopped trying so hard, it became a me thing. It became easier because I didn't have to try so hard. Guys are crazy going for the lookers. Yeah, older guys are even crazy going out for young women. Erica and I think Alison will be able to tell you that is a pretty much a thing in Thailand, Cambodia, that type of stuff. You get the Obalis from the UK and the US and that, and they come and find themselves a young Cambodian wife. And you're sitting with like a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-year-old kid in your 70s. But they got this young Cambodian wife, and they're going to put up with this wife wanting money for her family. Yeah, extra mental. No. As I said, it's a lady. Where we go. I have been single for 5 years and over it also given up. I get really depressed. I know the feeling. I can honestly say I know the feeling. I was not the most popular chip in the packet either. Everyone would always tell you how great things are, and you know what, you would be popular and it's nice to have, you know what, I've heard the saying, no, you're not oversharing at all. I've heard the saying, one day when I come back, I want to come back with money and looks. To hell with this sparkling personality shit. I'm always me, but nobody likes me for me. Tough. You know what? It is. Never, and that's something I actually wanted to talk about this week, but it's like done and dusted, was the being you, accepting you. And because it's been a trial for me this week. You know what, even when you're married, eventually you're looking at things and trying to do things, and you know what, a lot of stuff just lands on top of you because you start piling different uh, pressures and expectations and things onto you, and of course, you know what, I try and block and think of everything. So yeah, that was me. I mean, you take a look. I am a chunky monkey, and you know what, I think I'm a pretty good personality in the long run, and I try to be a gentleman, and I try to do what is right. I have my Nooker and Crooker, but nothing that anyone couldn't get off with. But yeah, I heard of Westerners having to support the whole extended family in Thailand and Cambodia. Yeah, not so good. Not so good there as well. What's Allison? I love being single and embrace my loneliness. I'm not afraid of it. No, you know, I'm not a counselor in that, so I'm very afraid. I do not like to tell people what to do, and I do not like to tell people that I know how you feel. That's why I say I can imagine, and I don't say I know how you feel, because you know what, different things have different levels of extremity with people, and including myself. There's sometimes things that I feel, hey, Andre, you're not. It's not that big a problem. Other people have bigger problems than you, but it's actually quite extreme for me. Um, so what's it, Henda? That's correct, but not all are the same. What's it? Yeah, not all of the same. There's one or two people. There's a couple of people with a very nice wifey and everything like that. But I don't know. Usually the old chaps with the young ladies, bro. Um, yeah, you know, and I don't want to be funny. They're pretty good looking, but Asian women, you go to sleep next to a beautiful woman, you wake up next to your granny overnight. So yeah, that's another thing. So if you're doing looks, you're definitely picking in the wrong department. I always say pick a lady. I love you too, my dear. I have to say that. No, I'm kidding. I do. But I I just say, you know what? There are so many lovely ladies, and they are looked over by the ego of the male. And I'm talking about good looking males, and I'm talking about flippin' goofies, because everybody wants to be entitled to the peppermint pie and aren't happy to look at the other eats on the table, which are sometimes a lot better. Okay, my what's the name still on? I need to take it off. Sorry, but it's time I also went off as well. Telegram. So yeah, you know what? I blame a lot of men in that sense, and you know what? Sadly, it's a man thing as well. Men are more likely, and I think this is possibly a good chat for a stream at one stage. But first of all, I don't like to tell anyone uh, in that situation, I know how you feel, because you don't know how that person feels. You don't know the effect that it has on their lives or their feelings or their self confidence, anything like that. You can tell them you might be a different person and cope differently with it, but there are different things that affect people differently. And you know what? I just, as I said, I love a lady. I live in a small town, and it's easy. I'm very outgoing, gregarious person, so I can't embrace loneliness. You know, yeah, difficult things. I had, you know what, everyone is, it's great to have you around, and it's good to be friends with you and everything to that effect, but to get a date to the school prom or matric dance or something like that was just like, yeah, you know what, you are going to get somebody really good, Andre. Nobody wants, yeah, but don't worry, you are really going to pick up a gem, Andre. Really? uh yeah. And that's why, guys, I'm not old. I'm an older, very wise. Mind is as sharp as a razor. Well, there we go, Erica. uh I jump into rabbit holes, read people looks, guys don't like it. You know what, guys are sometimes threatened by intelligence. I can really get bored with people who can't have an intelligent conversation. It is really, for me, if you can't have an intelligent conversation, I'm not saying don't have fun and be silly sometimes and have a good laugh, but it's good to have someone who's intelligent, for the simple reason that you always know where you stand. For me, it's terrible having. No, it's okay. No, no, anything wrong? No, you don't know where the hell you're standing. When you know where you stand, you can be used so much easier. 39, staying back with your parents. They know they love me, but everything, but it's a nightmare because no one is interested in a middle-aged guy that still lives with the parents. Um, you know, funnily, we don't have control of our circumstances. I should be, as I said to you guys before, I should be settled with a family, with a house in my name and a BMW in the driveway and a steady job with yearly holidays and etc. etc. And I'm not. I'm not. I don't even own the sheets on my bed. Never mind the bed that I own. None of the TVs in my place I own. I am in another country where I live on a visa and work for a school. Um, I don't own a cent's worth of pension or provident or anything like that. I only started the end of the last year actually trying to put something away through a broker in South Africa because it's really difficult to get it along on the other side. So, do I see that as successful? And then you look on Facebook and you see your buddy's new car, you know what, in the driveway of the house that is paid off, that has the boat on the side of the that he has taught all his children to go skiing on during the yearly and mid-year holidays. And you think, yeah. Then you start thinking to yourself, you know what, how can my wife possibly actually feel secure with an unsuccessful banana like this? I'm just giving you a couple of my things that I go through when I look at that. Only 6 likes. Do smash the like button. Yeah. Nobody likes this. You see, nobody likes me. Everyone says it's cool, but then when push comes to shove, you won't push and shove that button. No, I'm kidding. Andre, that is why these streams are so enjoyable. Just the interaction. I make friends on the streams that they love. You know what? And once again, that's what I sit and I think I haven't done anything for anyone, but I love chatting about everything and anything. And you know what? We talk about really funny things, Bud Spencer and Terence Hill and etc. etc. And then we go into something like this, which I feel is so worth it to just have, and you take a look at different people, and different people have situations which seriously matter to them in their life. And then you find somebody else who actually copes with it, but won't cope with something else, maybe. Well, I'm not saying don't cope, but something else affects them a little bit more than what is. So I love it, and I love you guys, because you just, like, you know what, by Sunday night I'm really sort of worked up for work, and it's really taking a bit of a stress in me at the moment, and I love it. Erica, there we go. My sense of humor is off the wall. I wish I could have a sense of humor that's off the wall, because I watch these comedies and it's like, it's funny. That was really funny. And eventually my wife's going, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, I'm enjoying the movie. What have we got there? Each person, same level of intelligence. Cameron, I've gotten to know you over the last 2 years. You have a lot to offer. Intelligent, and you just got to find the right person. But yeah, it's so much easier than said than done. Just get into a relationship. Whoa, geez, you have the world that is interested. I remember that. I would just some along the line, in this little corner, find a girlfriend that, somewhere, and then the world is like, whoa, you know what? I have a friend that will go for you, and this and this and this. If anything happens, you recover. Just get out of that relationship for some unknown reason. Doesn't because of, but okay. And where are all the people that you were talking? No, nothing. It's like people like, leave that job. I have jobs for you. You will have, if you know what, how many companies are looking for people, leave that job. Just leave that job. We're the people that were going to offer me all these jobs all of a sudden. Yeah. You know, it's so much that we worry about. Yeah, pension is something we worry about. Medical, as I said, I've got to try and look for something. Hannes and Vanita, the guys from the hotel, I actually spoke to them about a expat medical company, and they signed up for one just this week, which I'll take a look at when I'm coming back from South Africa, because I am in such a stated pickle about actually having money to get to South Africa. Well, I've got the plane tickets, but actually getting through South Africa and getting back again is because I haven't booked the plane tickets from Johannesburg to PE and back yet. I figured I'd just book it through Checkers Money Market. Man, it's cheap there, cheap at Checkers, but the way the plane tickets and that are going up, it's hectic. Yeah, so medical I got to look at, because if I have an operation in a freaking KTV, you know what, converted nightclub again, I will not make it. I've never been that depressed in my whole life before. What's Hendo? The world is upside down after COVID. People's expectations need to be lowered. Don't get into debt. Keep up with the Joneses debt. Yeah, well, you know what? I've got quite a bit of a mess to sort out in South Africa. Over here, the nice thing is you can't get into debt because they won't give you debt as a foreigner. So you kind of live above the lines. People's expectations, I don't think you should lower your expectations. I think you should make your expectations realistic, because you will achieve what you expect. And if it's lower, you will sometimes settle for less than what you are due. But I think you need to be realistic about it. You know what? You got to look at more than the cover of the book. You've got to understand that a lot of people are going to be around you because it's convenient. But when it's not convenient anymore, you are going to have very little around you. And I appreciate, yeah, there we go. Thanks, Alison. You're also very, you know what? I don't think anybody, yeah, I think not a lot, I think all of the people here on the stream are actually pretty intelligent people. You're maybe not rocket scientists and brain surgeons, but I mean, we can't have too many of those dull people around anyway. But to be able to say that you are emotionally intelligent, psychologically intelligent, you can have more than a flat conversation. And I mean, I really appreciate with everything that everyone shares on here as well, because, you know, it just goes to show that we seem to be trustworthy enough for someone to be able to feel confident to share a lot of things. I mean, I feel confident to share things with you as well. Hendo says it's going to be a challenging few years ahead. Yes, it is. You can see just the way the world has gone. I mean, COVID's turned it upside down. The woke has thrown it left, right, and center. Hollywood, you know what, where people look up to and follow a trend is trended us all the way. What's it? Alison and my couple, friend with, they had it all, and then I found out they had 500. That's the whole thing. You know what? To live for the moment is hectic. And you know what? I won't say a rich life, but I've had a comfortable life where I've had a house, I've had a little 4x4 and everything, and you know, I had a nice car in Cape Town and had a good job, and I was earning well. I wasn't rich. I wasn't living in Constantia. I had a house in Brackenfell, but it was my house. And well, the latter is 2 weeks after being in a psych ward, after just eventually melting down, went over and then ended up with starting a company and things not working out, and then fell down to a place where I could hardly afford a 1-bedroom flat in Nelspruit. Both sides of the story. I much prefer the latter of having the house and everything to that effect. But if I just think of the time I had there and the circumstances and the abuse in which I worked under, was, I don't know. You know what? You've got to find a line of happiness. That's why I say you come to Cambodia and people go, and I'm talking nice about Cambodia always, and it's because of the fact that you've seen the streets. I'll show you some more streets next weekend. I actually have the video clips. I just haven't had the moment to actually show you. It's not smart. In actual fact, South Africa is more westernized and more upmarketized than what you would actually say Cambodia is. But we've tended to find the good in it, and we've tended to find the patience, the goodness, the happiness. We've found things to be grateful for, yeah, and it's changed our perspective. So it's all in your perspective. If your perspective, and by all means, you know what, super successful guys have had a hard time and they've got there, and their perspective has been different. But talking about ladies, let me tell you something that any successful man cannot turn around, and I'm sorry to say this, cannot turn around and say that there was not a successful spouse, counterpart, or woman behind him. Because the person who quietly made the house, looked after the children, kept the home going, made sure that you dressed well, made life easy for you, opened up the strings so that you could achieve what you achieved. There's something to be grateful for. I'm not saying put them up on a pedestal and throw them on your business ad, but all I'm saying is there's always, always, always something to be grateful for. Yeah, there we go. True. Offering girls jobs. Yeah, no, we've got a few there. True in the debt. Really concerned about the next few years. Yeah, I want to. I'm a warrior, and not WARRIOR. It's WORRIOR. So yeah, I do tend to worry about a lot of things. I worry about the fact that I sit in a dungeon doing my stream every evening when all I need to do is somehow locate a place with a light so I can replace this room's light. But yeah. But yes, it is going to be a bit of a mind bender, especially if you find that and I don't want to go off on a tangent because I'm already far over time here as well, but especially if you find that the world has seen what it can get away with, to try and have the tenacity to bend it back again by people is, yeah. Alison, I'm also very concerned. Orbot, I miss my sanity. I miss the days, Orbot, you know what, I'm going to put that up there. I miss my sanity. I miss the days when we could live with sanity. I agree with you 150%. You almost live in an insane world, we do. Hendo talking about how it's going to be challenging, worrying, what's the name? Yeah, Orbot, you hit the nail on the head there. Cambodia society more balanced than SA? I don't know. You also, I mean, there's more car accidents these days, and it's usually at night, so it's drunken driving. It's family just escaped while after their little tuk-tuk was hit. Not a tuk-tuk, their scooter was hit by a thing, and then somebody was killed for this, or somebody was beaten up for that. You also have your real life. Yeah, I don't think it has the crime rate that South Africa is, but then again, most of the countries in the world don't have the crime rate South Africa has. I think Cambodia is on the way up, and South Africa is going to need to have a hard turn to make it go up again. But yeah. What's it? Thanks for sharing. Working overseas has its challenges, but you don't live in fear, crime. The people are humble and friendly. Yes, Alison, I think you've had that experience as well over here. There are places you don't go and you don't walk down streets at nights, and certain streets at nights and things to that effect. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a warrior. But yeah, what I was wanting to talk about today is time to wake the lion and not the lamb. But yeah, I was a supportive wife, partner, made my men. They broke me. And that is exactly what I'm talking about, Erica. When you take a look, it is so important that you turn around and you're grateful and you bring the people on the ride that put you there. Because the people who made the environment for you to be able to achieve the spotlight that you have, the achieving person. I will tell you that my most successful times was when my wife was the most active behind me. And yes, and I must agree with Alison. I'm really sorry to hear that, because a good, intelligent person reads the playing field, and when you have strategized that well to actually give the break to your man, and I would say woman in that sense as well if you're a man, but it's usually sadly it is the lady that has been clever enough to read the playing field, to play the board, to be able to enable the man to be able to make that kind of life for them. And it's, yeah, just broken people. Yeah, we're all broken people. But then I don't think there's anyone that isn't broken in this life. As we were saying, we're looking at just have gone through an absolute mad pandemic. I agree with what Arbot said. You know what? I'd love to live the life of where I miss my sanity. I remember when I started working in the hotel business, there was no such thing as cell phones. My first flat in Bloemfontein, I had to get a Telkom telephone in there so that I could be contacted. And if I wasn't at home, I didn't contact. If you phoned me at work and I wasn't there, you left a message. We faxed through figures every night. The end of the month reports, the accountant had to fax them through. And then she had like this dot matrix printer. And in the safe was this check with the checks on printer paper. And your salary check was printed on this printer. But you know what, the manager would come and the accountant would go, and they'd both open with their own keys, and they'd take out the salary check paper, and she'd load it onto the machine that came through from head office and push print, and woe and betide, everything had to be right because these checks were printing, and it would be put in an envelope and you'd get your salary check there. But life was just a little bit more bearable. It wasn't as fast. And why things have become so stressful these days is it has become that much faster. That much faster. We'll talk about life in general. I'd like to leave you with something before I go. So many people carrying emotional baggage. Last 5 years has been crazy. I think it has emphasized the emotional baggage that a lot of people have carried. I think everybody has, some people more than others, but I think it has, I don't want to say exaggerated because that is contradicting. It has emphasized some. You know what, some things, when you get a bucket of water in a boat, it's not the end of the world. But when a whole tsunami falls into your boat and you know that boat was carrying a little bit of water, it's done it. 7 years for me. There we go. But Alison Johnson, we have been chatting in the morning. Dot matrix, ancient printers, noisy alien sounds. Most people also forgot to count their blessings. I just watch it, and that's what's killed me at work a lot, is people have forgotten to say thank you and to be grateful for good things. I'll give you a small example. We used to have a deduction of money at the end of every year because we got 2 weeks leave, but because we hadn't accumulated enough leave, and sometimes people didn't come back from leave, so if they'd paid the money out, they wouldn't be able to get it back. So 3 or 4 days at the end of December was usually deducted from us, which, you know what, in December to lose 3 or 4 days is a lot of pain because it's not a bonus month or anything like that. And usually it's Christmas, it's going away, it's buying presents, it's eating out a little bit more, and you're on leave. Now, that had been really, really painful. And we went on a real, myself and the other principals and the assistant directors and that, we went on really a long push to request and justify and motivate to the CEO and the superintendent, you know what, just give us a chance. I mean, I was at the point where I was saying, you know what, if anyone leaves, I will pay in the difference that is outdone and that. And eventually, it was like, oh man, I think it was 2 or 3 days after we'd gone on leave, or a day after we'd gone on leave, if it wasn't the last day. But still, eventually, he agreed to it, and we went like, wow, guys, they said yes. We're not getting deductions. And instead of going, yeah, thank you, that's wonderful, that's such great news, that's wonderful, thank you very much, the saying came up, oh, well, it's about bloody time. Yeah, it's probably the country's laws that forced them not to do that. And it's like, you know what, can you not just turn around and say, eventually someone had seen something, and out of the goodness of their heart, they actually eventually did something about it. And the CEO turned and said, that was a good thing, and I'll do that. But instead of saying thank you, yeah, it's about time, and it's probably because of country laws that they couldn't do that, or the government probably forced them or something. You know what? Did it hurt that much to actually turn around and just say, thank you, well done, something we go. But you do not hear that these days. You do not hear that. Dot matrix. Most people forgot to count their blessings. Yeah, look for the silver linings. It's always a silver lining. I'm not saying, you know what, don't look into your what's Anthony Tony or whatever, but anyway, he always says, you know, positive thinking is not good enough. If you look out of your back window, it's pointless closing your curtains and going, there's no weeds in my and there's no weeds in my garden, there's no weeds in my garden, there's no weeds in my garden, because when you open the curtains again, they're going to have taken your garden. But when you do notice that there's no weeds in your garden, and there's weeds in your garden, grab a spade, run outside, pull the suckers out. Then you can go back in, open up the curtain, go, wow, there's no weeds in my garden. Thank goodness I have a garden, compared to some people. So yeah, it's important to have gratitude in your life. And I'm fine now. Learn to peace of embrace myself. Yeah, somehow we've got to, and that's what I struggle with. I'm grateful for the lessons I've learned and learning. It is true. It is true. And Hendo's giving you a big thumbs up here. I want to share before I go, because I've kept you far too long with my nattering and talking and everything, but I really appreciate that everything that you guys have done and spoken with. I think we've touched on a good couple of subjects, and I'd like to touch on these subjects again. And I know Carl would like to come on and do a thing on embracing your failures. Yeah, I don't know how we're going to embrace our failures, but I want to just put on something over here that I actually saved. It was on Facebook, and it said, finally, and it's a whole thing about gossip and that, and it's one of the things that have just been driving me mad. But remember the little saying that tells us what kind of minds we have? Great minds discuss ideas. Average minds discuss events. Small minds discuss people. And I'd like to leave you with that, guys. So from my side, thank you very, very much for everything you are, for who you are, for the wonderful people that you are. If no one's going to tell you that, I will tell you that. You're absolutely, absolutely great stuff. And be good. Take care. And if you can't be good, at least be kind. Cheers.